Welcome to Kusum.net. This is ASP.NET MVC tutorial and you are watching part 71 child action only attribute in MVC. Before watching this video, please watch my previous parts, part 68, part 69 and part 70. In part 70, I was explained about authorize and allow anonymous action filters. So this is also uh, the attributes of the action filters. In this tutorial, in this session, we will learn child action only attribute in MVC. So any action method that is decorated with child action only attribute is a child action method, and child action method will not respond to URL request if an attempt is made. A runtime error will be thrown stating child action is accessible only by a child request. Child action method can be invoked by making child request from a view using action and render action HTML helpers. So if we want to prevent users to pass a string into the URL, we need a child action attribute, okay, inside of the controller method. So this type I can use this child action only attribute on the method of controller. Okay, so let's gonna check how to do it. This is my web application 7, and this is my controller. I have this index method presently. We'll make another new method inside of this controller, okay, and give it the name country. Countries, okay, and inside of that I will pass the list of string. So list of string, then give the name of the list of string. Suppose it is country data, okay, so country data, and then return view this country data. Okay, I will create a view pages for this index method, and for countries method. This index method will pass the strings to this countries method. Okay, same like that for countries. I will create one view page for countries. Okay, and these countries will use the format of the countries. Okay, a systematic format. The list of string whichever declared here for these countries. Okay, list of string. So countries @model list of string, and create the format of the countries. Suppose it is underlined, and inside of that I will pass a list of countries. So for each string, the object name country in model. Okay, so select or fetch a list of the country from this model using this country object and display it as a list of object. So list of object, inside of that bold tag, and inside of that bold tag you will pass the name of country, this variable. Okay, so country, right? So I have created the format of the countries in the country method and pass the list of country names from index view. So here I will display or pass the country names. So change the title name as a country names. Okay, and here we want to pass the country names in that country method. So use action method @html dot action, and inside of that I will pass the country whichever declared inside of this country's method. Okay, these countries and this country data. So here in the action method, that name same method name I will pass here. Okay, countries and root value of the country names. So inside new in the curly brackets, which object? This country data. So copy this and pass here. So country data equal to new list of string and pass the names of the country, right, using curly brackets. Suppose it is US, UK and India. Okay, so, right. Okay, now let's check, run the program, and what gonna happen? This index page will display the list of countries using that list object, the format declared inside of this country's view page. You can see here this index method is displays the country names with this list of object. Okay, and using the format of that country method. Same like that, if I display the view page of the country, the name of the view page countries. So countries, what happened? It displays the error null reference exception. Why? Because it just uses the child actions. Okay, I have and if any persons use like this countries question mark country data equal to India equal to US, same like that, if I pass India it will display India. Okay, so user can use this technique to pass parameters inside of the browser's URL and displays whatever he want, but we want to prevent this to pass the parameters from the browser URL. Okay, for that what we will do, we will use the child action only attribute here. So pass on this countries method attribute child action only, so that it will pass the error and don't include that parameters by the users. Okay, so this child action only attribute, let's see how it works. There the action countries is accessible only by a child request, so the user cannot pass the data to the URL. eh? So this is the use of child action only attribute to prevent the URL from accessing users parameters. Okay, now in the next slide, an action method doesn't need to have child action only attribute to prevent. If you want to prevent the action method from being invoked as a result of a user request. Child actions are typically associated with partial use, but this is not compulsory, right? So if you don't want to display this attribute, you can use partial use. This is same like partial use, but this is not compulsory to use as a partial use. So child action methods are different from non-action methods in that non-action methods cannot be invoked using action or render action helpers. We discussed non-action methods in part 70 of ASP.NET MVC tutorial series. If you use this non-action method here in place of child action only, it doesn't work. Non-action, right? And let's see what happens if I use non-action attribute here. Okay, so let's go and use this use. Okay, I have passing that non-action attribute in place of child action only attribute. So this non-action will work or not. Let's check here. I have passed, the users have passed this US. Okay, the non-action method also prevent the users to pass data from the URL, and it displays the error, the resource cannot be found, right? But the correct message will given by child action only attribute, right? So using child action methods, it is possible to catch portions of a view. This is the main advantage of child action methods. We will cover this when we discuss output catch attribute, right? So this is the end of my video session, and thank you for listening this video. If you like this video, please subscribe it, share it, like it. Thank you. Have a great day.